How you guys doing? This is Karake of Impactafrica.network, Impact Africa Fund. Today I was thinking about how some startup ideas are DOA, dead on arrival. They're basically doomed even before they get started. Because a lot of folks don't do the hard work of thinking through the ideation, the validation, and the formation elements of the startup development process. So ideation is really about the idea, and the question is, what problem are you solving? And that may seem like a simple question, but what you'll find is most startups never end up becoming a solution to the original problem. So most startups will pivot, or most startups will die. So, why is that? Because a lot of times it comes down to that original idea, that what the founder thought that the problem was ends up not being the problem. And so it makes sense, right, to spend time thinking about the specific problem that you're solving and getting very, very granular and really understanding it. And there's a process to do that too, which is market research and talking to people. And most people don't do that. So the ideation, and the first thing before you even talk to people, you should write it down. You should write it down and crystallize this idea very, very soundly in your mind before you actually do anything else, really. Because it doesn't cost anything to write something down on paper and think it through thoroughly. Then the other thing is validation, right? Most people will actually approach the process of putting the idea out there by trying to defend it. The best way is to try and find reasons why it won't work. Try and before you do anything, before you spend any money, before you spend any time, write down reasons in your thesis as to why this wouldn't work. Try and in some very technical way, not in an emotional way, in a very pragmatic way, try and invalidate your idea yourself. Find reasons why it won't work, and if you cannot find enough solid reasons, then maybe you're onto something, right? Then the other one is formation, and this one is huge here in Silicon Savannah. You'll find people putting together teams in a company, or at least founding a company, because they're not teams yet, they're just names on a articles of incorporation document that have no basis in terms of the skill set and the complementary experience that are required to create the solution, or to actually, I guess, execute at the end of the day. It's very, very important that when you're forming the company, you've got to really look at the players around the table, the co-founders. What skill sets do they bring that will add to the execution process, right? What skill sets do they bring? What experience do they bring? What capabilities do they bring to the table? It's not about working with friends, or it's not about working with family members. It's really about finding people who bring specific skills that are necessary to execute the idea, and who you actually can work with together. And it's not about anything beyond that, honestly, is actually a recipe for disaster. So those three things: ideation, validation, and formation, kill startups before even they get started.